however long down the line, and this is a voice that a lot of us have, of if I had just hung in there a little bit longer, it would have gotten better.
Paris Jackson is getting candid. During an appearance on the August 12th episode of Call Her Daddy, the singer opened up about her personal life, including her road to sobriety and why she broke up with ex-fiancé Justin Long. Speaking to host Alex Cooper, Paris shared it was her decision to call off the engagement last summer, noting it was actually her second engagement she ended.
It was a choice that I needed to make to be happy. This is also my second engagement that I called off. The first one, I don't know if you could count the first one. It was real to me, even though we were strung out on drugs and the ring was one that he bought with my money without me knowing. It was still like, the love was so real for me in that first one. So this was like, it was the second one. No, it wasn't that casual. No, it was very like, you know, there were times where I did try and end it, but there was this little voice being like, but what if, however long down the line, and this is a voice that a lot of us have, of if I had just hung in there a little bit longer, it would have gotten better. And so I'm the person that needs to be sure, really, really needs to be sure. Even though I have a therapist, like a clinical psychologist, a coach, I have got a whole council of people, friends that know a lot about relationships and all the things that I was going through in life at the time, that are like, honey, in asking me the right questions of like, why would you stay? And my answers weren't good enough.
Paris went on to say that she realized her non-negotiables are allowed to stand and her needs must be met.
Just because someone is a good person doesn't mean they're my person. And I have to be happy, and I realize that my non-negotiables are allowed to be non-negotiables. And if these big major needs are not being met, it doesn't matter that you're a good person and you're not going to cheat on me. That's not a reason to stay.
Paris.
Especially also because I think, you know, I live in a city where where loyalty is not the biggest thing. And so sometimes I maybe get it in my head that that's how most people are.
The daughter of Michael Jackson and Debbie Rowe had announced her engagement to Justin in December 2024 before calling it off months later. Though the 28-year-old didn't reveal if she's dating now, she did share that she's happy, as she also appeared indifferent to possibly getting engaged a third time.
Could you see yourself getting engaged again?
I don't know. You know, it's a day at a time kind of thing for me. You know, I realize that if I spend so much time thinking about what the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years is going to look like, I'll get there and I'll look back and be like, damn, I didn't enjoy where I was when I was there. And I was just thinking about where I'm going to be at now.
So are you staying single? Are we dating? Are we in a relationship? What's happening, Paris?
I'm happy.
That's all
I'm going to say.
That's a good
really
answer.
Happy.
Elsewhere in the episode, the artist shared rare comments about her late dad, describing him as her best friend.
How would you have described your dad?
Really funny guy. That was my best friend.
Do you think that your humor is similar to his or different?
I think our humor usually tends to come from our siblings and parents. That's usually where it kind of, and also the region in which we grow up.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely a focus on making sure the love felt equal. There was definitely, like, I definitely noticed an effort in treating everyone equally. I definitely was daddy's little princess. I think that just happens with sons and mothers and fathers and daughters. There's just this special bond that you can't put into words. But I mean, it's a bummer when you get a little bit older and you know, like, when we started going to regular school, you know, my brothers could have sleepovers at their friends' places, but I could only have my friends at, you know, like, there's certain rules that some guys get a little more freedom.
She also recalled a few years of her childhood living at Neverland, her late father's property in Santa Barbara.
So I didn't grow up there. It was only the first few years of my life that I was there. And I'd wake up and I'd go to school.
And you were homeschooled, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd wake up and we'd go to the room that was our classroom and we would go to school. And it was made, the cool, like, very congruent line throughout my childhood that kind of started there and then just continued on wherever we went was, if you're good and you do your chores and you do your homework and you do the things that you're supposed to do, then on the weekends you can go see some animals and you can go ride some rides and you can go to the movies. It was made very, very clear that all of the attractions there were not for us. That did not belong to us. That was for, underprivileged children and children that were terminally ill that couldn't go to like Disneyland. And that continued on even when because at one point we like wouldn't stay in one place for more than a year, and we'd hotel hopped a lot. And so it was, if we were living in Vegas and it's like, okay, if you're good, you can go to Circus on the weekends.
She additionally weighed in on what Michael would think about her music, sharing that while she doesn't like speaking for other people, based off what she knows about him wanting her to be happy, he would be satisfied. The late pop icon passed in 2009 when Paris was 11.